Live. Contender regime boxing. Checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? What's going on, man? A little impromptu pop-up live on y'all boys, man. Want to chop it up with y'all one time. See how y'all feeling on this 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little boxing. You feel me? I think this is a very important topic that we got to touch on, And it's a question that I got to ask because I've heard different things from different people. I'm genuinely trying to figure out the answer to this question. And then also I want to shed some light on this topic and kind of get some insight from y'all and see where we at with this thing, man. Salute to everybody for pulling up. Make sure y'all hit that like button as you slide through. Shout out to the brother David. Say I'm right in the building. What's good? Appreciate you for pulling up, man. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Good to see y'all. Shout out to the brother Steven in the building. What's good? Yeah, man. It's been a minute. I had to pop up on y'all, man. I appreciate you for pulling up, dog. You know what I'm saying? I think this topic deserves a conversation. You feel me? I think this topic deserves a conversation. So I figured I'd hop on here, man, and chop it up with y'all. I want to see what y'all think. We talking about Gervonta Tank Davis today, the 135-pound division, but the focal point is Tank Davis and the future of his career, his intentions, his plans, man. I want to see where y'all head at with this. Shout out to the brother Davian Bible in the building. What's good? Shout out to my brother Jay Harris, Too Real in the building. What's good? Malik in the building. What's good, man? Shout out to my brother Kinda Loco Sports in the building. What's happening, man? What's good? I hope y'all doing well. If y'all off work today, that's dope. Hope y'all enjoying y'all day off. If not, if y'all listening while y'all working, man, say salute to y'all. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right on into it. We ain't gonna even waste too much time. I know everybody in here right now, but we ain't gonna waste too much time. Kinda Loco say he working already. Get to that paper, my boy. Get to that paper. So the first question I want to ask is Gervonta Tank Davis a free agent? Can anybody clarify that for me? Does anybody know for a fact? I know people don't got access to paperwork, but is that something that has been confirmed, whether he is a free agent or he's re-signing with Mayweather Promotions? Can anybody clarify that for me? Shout out to the brother North St. Jizzle in the building. What's good? What's good? Does anybody know if Gervonta Tank Davis is a free agent or is he re-signing? I've heard people say that Coach Calvin Ford, and I want to talk about an interview that I just seen. I posted a clip of it on the Instagram as well. The brother's YouTube channel is Zeb. Man, I forget. It's Zeb Multimedia. Y'all probably are familiar with that channel. He does a lot of content on Tank Davis and Coach Calvin, the Baltimore area. Does an incredible job, man. He did a great interview with Coach Calvin and posted it today. I was watching that earlier, and he did kind of like a day in the life of Coach Calvin Ford, his gym. He had Lorenzo Truck Simpson in the video. He was training. Just really giving man, it was an incredible interview, dog. Make sure y'all check that out. I'm gonna post the link in the community, you know what I'm saying, and then shit probably after the live, I'll go ahead and post that shit in the comment section as well. But it was a great interview, really dope to just see, how Coach Calvin, the empire that they building as far as that gym in Baltimore, they talking about expanding and shit. He just gave so much, behind the scenes information about the business of boxing, what his plans is going forward, getting coaches, black coaches together, congregating like Derrick James, you know what I'm saying, Bo Mack, shit like that. He got some good shit going on, man. So shout out to Coach Calvin. But they talked about Devin Haney, a potential fight with Devin Haney in that interview. And I ain't gonna lie. I really didn't like what I heard. I didn't like what I heard. It didn't sound like Tank Davis is a free agent. And honestly, I don't mind whether he's a free agent or not. I just need to know so I can clarify and understand what I need to expect from Tank Davis going forward, because that matters. That matters. Because if he's still going to be signed with Mayweather Promotions, then I know I got to view Tank in a different light and understand that I can't expect certain things from Tank Davis going forward because of his handlers and the way they already like came out and said this is what we plan on doing with Tank Davis, and this just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if he's a free agent, then we got to look at it differently. We got to look at it differently. You know what I'm saying? I want to know if Tank Davis is actually a free agent or not, because we know that Leonard Ellaby and Floyd Mayweather, they done came out plenty times. Every time they do an interview and somebody brings up a potential fight between Tank Davis and Devin Haney, or Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, or Lomachenko, anybody that would bring some level of legacy or some level of championship contention, some level of meaningful opposition, I guess is what I'm looking for. Every time they bring one of those type of guys up, Leonard Ellaby, he always say, hey man, it ain't about who's the best fighter, or it ain't about who got a belt or who the best competition. It's about whether or not the fans want to see you. They always say, Tank Davis, he's a prize fighter, which is true. I totally understand that concept. Tank Davis, they not really focused on belts. Tank wants to fight for money, and they don't really want to pay nobody. They want to try to keep all the money in-house so they can, get these lesser guys in the ring with Tank. It's going to make them look good stylistically. Then on top of that, they can pay them, a very small amount, and then let Tank keep the lion's share. I understand the system and how it works. So every time, a guy like Devin Haney get brought up, Leonard say, well, he's a great fighter. Yeah, he's undisputed now. But do the fans want to see him? Well, the answer to that question is absolutely, because I'm a fan of both Tank Davis and Devin Haney. I actually favor Tank Davis in that fight if we just talking about in the ring. However, I'm a fan who want to see that fight. I want to see both of them guys get an opportunity to prove who really the best. You know what I'm saying? So to answer Leonard Ellaby's question, it's about do the fans want to see? Yes, the fans want to see Devin Haney versus Tank Davis. I think the fans want to see Devin Haney versus Tank Davis more than they wanted to see Tank Davis versus Isak Cruz, or Tank Davis versus Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? Or Tank Davis versus Roller Romero. You feel what I'm saying? So to answer that question, yes, absolutely the fans want to see that fight. You dig what I'm saying? And then, he'll get into, well, Tank Davis putting asses in the seats. He's selling tickets, which is true. However, nothing is really, I'm not getting any type of substantial information, or like nothing that's really important in regard to potentially making that fight. I'm not getting none of that from Leonard Ellaby or even Coach Calvin Ford. And I respect Calvin Ford a lot. Coach Ford is one of my favorite trainers in the game. I love his boxing knowledge. I love his wisdom. I always give a lot of game when he talk. I love Coach Calvin Ford, but the way he talking in that interview that I just seen, it seemed like that he's on the same accord with Leonard Ellaby and Floyd Mayweather. Like, we gonna continue. It's about money. It's about fanfare, pay-per-view, all that, and I get it, but you got to make that make sense though, because if you telling me you can sell pay-per-view with Isak Cruz, but then you can't sell pay-per-view with Devin Haney, I got a problem with that. Shout out to the brother SB in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with that. You dig what I'm saying? Said Calvin sound like they talking themselves out of making a fight, talking about what they believe can't happen without reaching out to Dev's team to make the fight happen. Facts. Facts, you know? And see, this is the thing. This is the difference between Devin Haney and a lot of these other guys. Devin Haney really moving like a boss. You know, now, if these other guys don't want to make fights, he can't force them to fight. But we done seen Devin Haney run down on multiple guys and put them in a position where it was fight or flight, where either you gonna fight or everybody gonna know you ducking. Devin Haney has done that multiple times. Anytime he was in a position to make a fight with somebody, Devin Haney actually put forth the effort to make that fight happen. If fights didn't happen, it wasn't because of Devin Haney. I can't really say the same thing for Gervonta Tank Davis, because it seemed like, well, maybe he wants to fight, himself, the individual fighter, but does Leonard Ellerbe now want to fight? Does Floyd Mayweather want to fight? Does Coach Calvin Ford even want to fight? I believe that Calvin would do anything that Tank want to do. If Tank want to fight, Coach gonna get him ready. But then it goes a level beyond that. Okay, now do Leonard Ellerbe want to fight? Do Floyd Mayweather want to fight? With Devin Haney, he ain't no extra levels. It's like, okay, well, now he is signed with Top Rank and Bob Arum, but we can't even use that as an excuse now. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, the fight still wasn't even going down. You feel me? So if Devin Haney say he want to fight, there's no extra levels that's going to say, well, no, you can't get this fight unless the other guy don't want to fight. And we see that Devin Haney is willing to travel geographically and in the sense of business. He's willing to go to Australia, or he's willing to go to Top Rank to get the smoke. So I really can't say the same thing for these other guys, you know, that's in and around 135 or that could potentially fight Devin Haney. The energy just ain't the same. You know, so I pose a question: is Gervonta Tank Davis a free agent? And if he is, will he prioritize legacy-defining fights now? Or will we get much of the same? Well, I'm a prize fighter. And look, this is, again, I respect Coach Calvin Ford the utmost. You know what I'm saying? The utmost. Shout out to the brother Batman Forever, aka 817 in the building. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you for pulling up, man. I respect him to the utmost. But he said something, and I posted this clip on the Instagram. You know what I'm saying? If you're not following the Instagram, it's Contender Regime Boxing on Instagram, the same way it is on the YouTube. And, you know, he was saying that, you know, we don't really care about belts. You know, they got sanctioning fees and, you know, all these different things. And I mean, that was disappointing to hear. Imagine if LeBron James said, I don't care about championships. I just want to fight for money. I just want to play basketball just for the money. I don't care about championships. Imagine if Kobe Bryant said, I don't care about championships. I just want to play for the money. That shit sound goofy as hell, don't it? I don't care about competing against the best. I just want the paycheck. Imagine if Tom Brady said, look, I don't care about Super Bowls. I just want to get paid. That shit don't even make sense. And this is all coming from my critique and my constructive criticism towards this situation. Of course, most of it is leaning towards Tank Davis and his team. Is from the simple fact that this is coming from a guy that actually believed Tank Davis wins all these fights. I think Tank Davis beat Devin Haney. I think Tank Davis beat Shakur Stevenson. I think Tank Davis beat all these guys. Salute to the brother Tex Rock in the building. What's good? But, I mean, shit, it don't matter if I think Tank gonna win if his team got doubt. You feel me? I think Jamal Charlo beat Canelo. I think Jamal Charlo whooped David Benavidez's ass. But what that mean if he ain't gonna get in the ring with him? You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Andre Williams in the building. What's good? You know, so understand this criticism is constructive. This criticism is constructive. We don't tear down no brothers on this platform, but we gonna keep it 100. And I genuinely, as I'm sure most of you guys, because we all boxing fans here, all you guys are, very knowledgeable about the sport. We sit here and we chop it up all the time about boxing, man. And I know y'all want to see that fight. Now, we know that Devin Haney got shit going on. That's cool. But just speaking on the concept, I just don't like the energy that I'm getting from Tank Davis and his team. You know what I'm saying? It don't even sound like that they open to the idea of fighting Devin Haney. I don't like when a guy say, "Oh, I don't need that fighter." You dig what I'm saying? Because I mean, Devin Haney can say, "I don't need Tank Davis," but that ain't the type of shit that he's saying though. He's been consistently saying, "Hey, I want that fight. I want that fight." I heard, even though Shakur Stevenson, he's at 130, but we know, come on, we ain't gonna play crazy. We know he's eventually gonna be at 135, and he's gonna be a fucking force to be reckoned with in that division. But when I hear Leonard Ellaby, somebody bring up a potential fight with Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis in the future, he like, man, look, yeah, man, these dudes can fight, but can they sell tickets? I mean, how many tickets is Isaac Cruz selling? I will say this, that when you get in the ring with Tank Davis, it does raise your brand. You know what I'm saying? It does increase your brand. Isaac Cruz, he got clout off of getting in the ring with Tank Davis. That's true. But none of that shit really mean nothing when it come down to, okay, are these guys interested in fighting each other? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate you for pulling up. Said, what up, bro? Driving to Vegas and my whole family sleep in the car. Needed to pop up to get through this long ass drive. Hey, man, that's what's up, bro. Hey, man, y'all be safe, dog. Appreciate you for tuning in, dog. 100, man. Y'all be safe out there. Said, too many promotional problems. Yup. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my gripe about the whole situation. But I want to ask y'all, I still haven't had anybody definitively confirm whether or not Tank Davis is a free agent. Because I know there were some reports that, Calvin Ford said that, we want Devin or he a free agent. But then I just saw an interview today on Zeb Multimedia. He got about 30,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure some of y'all who are Tank Davis fans like myself, I'm subscribed. I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with, some of y'all familiar with that channel. He does a lot of great work behind the scenes, in the gym and talking with the coaches and stuff like that. And this is the interview that just came out today. It's over an hour long, day in the life of Coach Calvin Ford. And, the way he's talking right now, he's still referencing Mayweather Promotion. He's still referencing the same talking points that Leonard Ellaby have been giving out this whole time. You know what I'm saying? So is he a free agent or is he still with Mayweather Promotions? I think this is something that we all got to know. Does anybody have a real legitimate answer? Because depending on where he stands, I got to know how I can deal with Tank Davis going forward. I got to know how to approach when I speak on Tank Davis, when I make videos about him, I got to know how to approach the situation. Because if he's still with Mayweather Promotions and I already know their logic behind potential fights with guys that bring a high level of competition that could potentially be a threat to Tank Davis, then I know I really can't expect those type of fights, But if you're a free agent, then it's a different conversation. Said, did you see Haney dad go on the Rise podcast and speak? Check it out. I haven't, man. I think I heard about that. Somebody talked about Bill Haney doing a recent interview. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out for sure. So the thing is, Isaac Cruz and all these other fighters accept small purses because that's what they worth. The only one worth the bag is Ryan Garcia, and Ellaby tried to make that fight. I mean, I don't really know how true that is, though. The only one worth the bag is Ryan Garcia. You mean out of any potential Tank Davis opponent? I don't agree with that. So you saying the only fighter, the only potential Tank Davis opponent that's worth getting paid is Ryan Garcia? What's Ryan Garcia purse? What, Steven, give me Ryan Garcia last 3 purses. And let's see if he made more than Devin Haney. You remember, hey Steven, I don't know where you at, but Ryan Garcia fought Luke Campbell in the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, and that motherfucker had about 3,000 people in there. 3,000. It was empty as fuck, bruh. And they gave tickets away for that fight. In Dallas, Texas, where it's a lot of Mexicans here, and they didn't sell shit. He fought Luke Campbell. Some would say a credible guy. Bruh, the arena was empty. And American Airlines Center is not a big venue. So I don't agree with that logic, my boy. I don't agree with that. Shout out to the brother Eclectic Agitator in the building. What's good? Said Leonard Ellaby, in my honest opinion, just want to lowball guys. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. But see, this the thing though. I don't even really think now money is always involved. We're not gonna be naive here. But I don't even think that the Devin Haney fight is like really about money. Not for Devin Haney now. Now he done got the belts and he undisputed. You gonna have to pay the man some. He just came off making $2.8 million. That's higher than any purse Gervonta Tank Davis ever made. Tank ain't never made no purse of $2.8 million. He ain't never had no guaranteed purse of $2.8 million. And he was the B-side in that fight. So Devin Haney making more money than Tank as a B-side. What are we talking about? You said Ryan Garcia got a huge fan base, then why they not at the fights? He fought in the American Airlines Center, bro. It was empty. Go back and watch the fight. It was empty, bro. Nobody in the city was talking about that fight. How he got a huge fan base if you a Mexican in Texas and you can't sell out the American Airlines Center? If Earl Spence fought at the American Airlines Center, that bitch sold out, bro. It's only about 30,000 people can fit in there. If Earl fought at the American Airlines Center, it sold out. How Ryan Garcia, a Mexican in Texas, and you can't get more than 5,000 people in the American Airlines Center? Where the big fan base at? Tank ain't make no, I'm talking about guaranteed purse. He ain't make no 5 million, bro. I ain't talking about no pay-per-view. I'm talking about guaranteed purse. He ain't make no 5 million, bro. That's cap. He ain't make no damn 5 million, bro. That's cap. Show me the guaranteed purse. I want to see it. I want to see it. If that's gonna be y'all justification for us not getting this fight, then what are we doing? What are we talking about, man? Yeah, Ryan got Instagram fans. That shit don't translate to money, dog. That shit don't translate to bringing traffic to the fights, because I seen his fights and motherfuckers not at his fights, bro. I'm just saying. Dude, a Mexican in Texas, and you can't get more than 4,000 or 5,000 people in American Airlines Center, bro. That's bad. That's bad. Hold on. So David, say I'm right, said Tank not a free agent. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Does anybody else agree? Is that definitive? Hell nah, Ryan ain't no star, man. Motherfuckers think cause you got a million followers on Instagram, you're a star. Why that shit not translating to the fights? Why he not selling out no venues? Why he not on pay-per-view? You know? You know, DAZN doing pay-per-view now. Why Ryan Garcia? And is Ryan Garcia versus Fortuna gonna be pay-per-view? Is Ryan Garcia versus Javier Fortuna? Is that gonna be pay-per-view? Does anybody truly believe that Ryan Garcia versus Fortuna, is that shit gonna be pay-per-view? Does anybody know the purses for Ryan Garcia and Fortuna? Said Tank's mentality might still be I'm with Floyd. I can see that. I can see that. And see, that's the thing. Like, I'm rooting for Tank. I want nothing but the best for him. But I just want to see, and this is why I'm bringing forth this conversation, because I believe in his ability. I believe in his skill. I believe in his potential. And I want to see him reach that shit. Not just on some, I want to be a star type shit. It's time to actually get out there and fight the guys that the people want to see you fight. It's time to actually get out there and put all of these. I rated, when I did the fighter ratings, I had Tank Davis rated higher than anybody, just on a skill by skill level. Now it's time to actually put that shit to the test and get out there and fight the Devin Haney's. We still ain't even seen Tank Davis fight Lomachenko yet. Y'all don't think that's a problem? Y'all don't think it's a problem that we still haven't seen Tank Davis versus Lomachenko? We talking about, and Ryan Garcia is one of those fights. And they did try to make that fight. Tank Davis and Mayweather Promotions, they've been trying to fight Ryan Garcia for a long time. But we know Ryan a hoe, and we know he all cap, and we know he a major duck, and he really don't want no smoke. We know that for a fact. He been trying to make the Ryan Garcia fight, but that's one of the fights that I want to see. But y'all don't think it's a problem that we still ain't even seen Tank versus Loma yet? That's a problem. That's a problem. See, I'm making a point. We talking about Devin Haney, you know, Ryan Garcia, goddamn Telefimo Lopez. These are all fights that I would love to see Tank Davis in. But we still ain't even seen a Loma fight yet. You know what I'm saying? You can say, fuck Loma. Shit, I agree. But I want to see Tank Davis go knock his ass out. That's what I want to see. I want to see Tank put him on his ass. You feel me? I want to see Tank put him on his ass. What's good? Said Devin Haney pulling whole cards. Facts. Devin Haney showing who really they own boss around this motherfucker, if we being real. Devin Haney showing who really they own boss. You feel me? We see who move and how they want to move. Motherfuckers say, okay, shit, this where Undisputed at? Let me go over here, you know what I'm saying? I got what I got to do. A 2-fight deal, you know what I'm saying? 3-fight deal, bet. Let me go get that. I need that. You know what I'm saying? I need that. Oh, I want to fight Loma. Let me run down on him. Make him come up off that belt. Everybody gonna know you a hoe. We gonna make him come up off that belt. We know you duck. That shit documented. Telefimo Lopez, yeah, let me run down on him. We gonna make you show if you real or you a hoe. That's what Devin Haney doing. I want to see Tank Davis do the same shit. That's all I'm saying. And you can't say Devin Haney clout chasing, or you can't say he out here just trying to get a bag, because he been getting paid more than Tank, and he about 7 years younger, bruh. So I don't want to hear nothing about all that. Oh, he trying to just get paid. That ain't the case. He been getting paid, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Dude, 21 years old, getting $1 million paydays, bruh. That shit, he been doing that. Tank Davis is 27, 28. He just started making $1 million paydays, bro, like a couple of years ago, bro. If we being real. So this shit don't got nothing to do with money, bro. This shit is just Devin Haney want the smoke, and he moving accordingly. And then these other guys, they ain't moving like that. That's just the facts. Shout out to the brother Jay Harris Too Real in the super chat, coming through and showing love. He said at this point, Tank is what, 27, 28. It's been time for him to fight the top-notch competition. Like, who's the best win against Santa Cruz? It's time to step up, my boy. We got to stop using the TMT excuse at this point. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to the brother Jay Harris, too real, man. That was too real, bro. That's all I'm saying right there. Jay Harris, too real, just said the exact same shit that I've been trying to convey this whole time. That's all I'm saying, bro. We just want to see you step up to the smoke now. We just want to see you step up to the smoke. Said Devin Haney got the straps and shooting at the head. No cap. Big facts. Big facts. Said, I don't think none of them boys around 130 beat Shakur. Well, I mean, we might not ever see him, Shakur and Tank Davis. We might not ever see that theory put to the test. You know? You know what I'm saying? I believe Devin Haney and Shakur fight each other, but will Tank fight one of them? That's the question. But I like Shakur though, man. Shakur, I think all those fights that we talking about is for what amongst those three guys, Tank, Devin Haney, and Shakur, even though I favor Tank against all of them, I think all of those fights are 50-50 fights. I think stylistically, skill for skill, each of those guys have an opportunity and have the tools to beat each other. Those are all 50-50 fights in my opinion. I think it just depends on who had a better game plan on that night, who show up on that night. You know what I'm saying? Said question if Haney fight Kambosos again, who does Tank fight to stay busy? That's a good question. That's a real good question. That's a real good question. You know, if Haney does indeed have to take that Kambosos fight, and I think that's still up in the air in my opinion, because they paid Kambosos $10 million. Just from what I've seen, they paid him $10 million in that first fight with Devin Haney. Now you done went out there in your hometown or in Australia and you done got your ass whooped in front of all them people. Them folk ain't gonna believe in you like they believed in you the first time. All that money that they made for them to be able to pay Kambosos pay him what they pay him and then pay Devin Haney, that shit came off the gate. It wasn't no pay-per-view. That shit came off the gate. So you not finna get that. I don't think they can pull that same gate a second time. The people don't believe no more. The jig is up. They believe to talk the first time because you from Australia, you know, you're undefeated. You just whooped Teofimo Lopez ass. You got this young, this young star in the making, Devin Haney, that came over there 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they thinking, oh, you finna whoop his ass. Now you get your ass whooped. They don't believe that shit no more. I don't know how they gonna be able to pay Kambosos or Devin Haney off a rematch because that gate ain't gonna be the same. So I don't know if that shit gonna be lucrative enough for them to actually justify making that rematch unless guys take some major pay cuts. I just don't see how it happens. But that's another story. But to answer your question, I don't know. That's a good question. But if that is the case, I wouldn't mind Tank Davis just fighting somebody just to stay busy. I wouldn't give a fuck who he fight. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even care. Said Haney and Bill real confident, get Tank his 10, then go back to the show time to fight. What? Said time. Said go back to Showtime. Oh, go back to Showtime. Fight is gonna make me nervous. I'm not really understanding. Say give him his 10, give Tank his 10, then go back to Showtime. Fight is gonna make me nervous. So they talking about Tank versus Rivera, the little Ali kid. I wouldn't be mad at that. I like that. I think Tank knocks him out. Rivera can box. He decent, but I think Tank could get to him. It'll be a little, I think that's a good stay busy fight. I think it'll be exciting. Rivera got a pretty exciting style. He got power. He can box. He gonna have the size advantage over Tank, but he's just not on Tank level. That'll be a good fight to watch, though. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. You know. But I just wanted to kind of get y'all's perspective on, do y'all believe that this is the turning point for Tank Davis to start prioritizing legacy defining fights? Will we start to see that now? Is that something that we can expect going forward? Or will we get much of the same? Because when I watched that Calvin Ford interview today, I was expecting something different based off of what people told me in regard to him saying that Tank Davis is a free agent and they want Devin Haney, but that's not what he said today in this interview. So now I'm kind of looking at it different. That's why I wanted to ask y'all this question, like, okay, is he a free agent? And if so, will he start to prioritize these fights that we want to see now? I'm not asking for Tank Davis to be some big talker. That ain't never been him. His maturation has impressed me so much over the last couple of years. Just him being more mature, more focused on the sport, being more dedicated, staying in shape. He ain't had no problems with weight. He just been sharper and sharper and sharper. Listening to him in interviews. I mean, Tank Davis has grown so much over the last 2 or 3 years, and I've been extremely impressed. And it don't got nothing to do with him like being boisterous or just talking crazy outside the ring. That's never been Tank Davis. So I don't need him to come out and just be, going crazy. I just need some intention on the business side. And then when he does get asked these questions, when his handlers get asked these questions, I need to see some intention there to make these fights. Because I buy all Tank Davis pay-per-views. I support every pay-per-view Tank Davis ever did. I supported it. So me as a fan, as a patron, I just kind of want to know the direction. You dig what I'm saying? I want to know, and me being a boxing fan, I want to know the direction so I can know how to handle the situation going forward. Because if that's gonna be the case, like I said, we seen guys like Canelo for years do the same shit Tank Davis doing right now. Just be a prize fighter, fight guys at the perfect time. Anybody that you could put in the ring that can make you look good. You put on a show, you get paid. You really didn't take no huge risks. You know what I'm saying? But you got paid handsomely for it. Now I think Tank Davis is doing that on a smaller scale, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm cool with him doing that because they let other guys get away with it for so long. But if that's what you're going to do, just let me know so I can handle you accordingly. You feel what I'm saying? That way we ain't got to get on here and talk about, a potential Tank Davis and Devin Haney fight. We ain't got to talk about Tank Davis and Lomachenko. We ain't got to talk about what it'll look like when Shakur Stevenson moves up to 135 because that fight's never going to happen. You dig what I'm saying? That's all I'm talking about. Shout out to the brother Jay Booman in the building. What's good? Said that's only going to happen if he takes control and actually wants to fight TMT. Only going to try to set up BS fights. That's facts. That's what I'm afraid of, dog. That's what I'm afraid of. Said Floyd made Tank a millionaire. He would never leave. Floyd is good business. That's true. That's true. That's true. That is true. Said I think Shakur is likely because he's on his way to being a star. You said Shakur is likely what? Said why would you leave the best team in boxing? I agree. Remember, I made a video on that eclectic agitator. I said Tank Davis got the best team in boxing. I agree, he does. He have the best team in boxing when it comes to protecting your investment, making sure your fighter get paid, even though I think he getting paid way less than he should be. But making sure your fighter get paid, put him in fights where he look good, making him a star. The rappers know him. You know what I'm saying? He bring a crowd out. and it's very low risk. That's great matchmaking. That's great promotion. That's great handling. If you're only looking at it from a business perspective, but a competition perspective, it's a different story. Says Shakur is more likely to fight Tank. How? How? You said because he becoming a star? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Devin Haney is a star. Devin Haney got more followers on Instagram. If you said Ryan Garcia a star because he got Instagram followers. Devin Haney got more followers on Instagram than Shakur Stevenson. And why he ain't a star? How is Shakur a star, but Devin ain't a star? Come on, bruh. You got to keep the same, like, if you're going to use this logic, you got to be consistent. Tell me what constitutes Shakur Stevenson being a star and Devin Haney not a star. Come on, bro. I need answers. How is Shakur a star, but Devin Haney not a star? Come on, bro. You got to make it make sense now. How is Shakur and Tank a big money fight, but Devin Haney and Tank not a big money fight? See, I think that logic that you using, Steven, that's part of the problem. But Steven, how is he a star, but Devin Haney not a star? Give me I need some. You can't just say, well, Top Rank did a better job of promoting Shakur. Top Rank did a better job of promoting Lomachenko than they did Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford is still a bigger star than Lomachenko. You got to give me more. You got to give me something else to substantiate what you're saying. Give me some numbers. We talking about Instagram following? We talking about YouTube views? What we talking about? We talking about who make the most money? Because all those categories that I just named, Devin Haney is leading those in comparison to Shakur Stevenson. So what are we talking about? That logic that you're using, Steven, is a reason. That's part of the problem why a lot of these fans run around here confused. That's part of the problem why guys like Leonard Ellaby can shove these bullshit ass fights down your throat and you accept it. That logic is part of the problem. Shout out to the brother Eclectic Agitator in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said the only reason for Tank to leave Floyd is to be unconstructive. Floyd is Tank's Al Heyman. Okay. That's a good point right there. Hey, man, I agree. He got the best team. He got the best team, man, in terms of business, protecting that investment, making sure it's high reward, low risk, building a star, being name known. Those are the things. If that's what matters to you, it's kind of like if you go to it's kind of like, okay, if you being recruited, you're a high school superstar and you being recruited for college. Well, this college is like, okay, this college say, we gonna make you gonna play on national TV every day. You gonna play on every game you playing on national TV. You gonna be in the newspaper. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have an opportunity to play for a national championship, but you gonna have to ride the bench for 2 years. You dig what I'm saying? But then you have this other school, they say, well, we not as big, you know what I'm saying? But you gonna start as a freshman. You gonna come in right out the gate and play. You gonna be able to compete right out the gate and play. It just depends on what matters to you as the recruit. For Tank Davis, if the business side and being a star and all those things is what matters more than actual competition, then that's the best team for Tank Davis. I agree with you. That's why I made that video. I think in terms of that, he got the best team. Do I think they're hindering him in some ways? Absolutely. Absolutely. Said, I don't know the numbers, but I'm seeing celebs going to. Celebs are at Haney's fight. Steven, you are part of the problem, brother. You are part of the problem. My man, like, just read your own comment. He said, I don't know the numbers, but I'm seeing celebs going to Shakur's headlines. What? Haney can't sell in his own hometown. How many fights have Shakur Stevenson sold out? Now, we not trying to tear down none of these brothers, but your logic is extremely flawed. Your logic is extremely flawed, bruh. If you telling me that Tank Davis versus Shakur is more likely to happen because Shakur is a star and Devin Haney not a star, bruh, that don't even make sense. How? Devin Haney is more known than Shakur Stevenson. How the fuck is Shakur a star, but Devin Haney not a star? It don't make no sense. You are part of the problem. Steven? Come on, brother. I'm trying to get you right, man. Come on now. Don't come in here talking that bullshit, man. Shout out to my brother Lloyd Sweat, real in the building. What's good? Said be more homie. CR, be more homie. Tank, strap season, man down, lines only. King Wilder. Big facts. Big facts. Shout out to Be More, man. 100. Shout out to Baltimore in the building, man. What's good? Said Haney is a bigger star than Shakur at this point. Facts. I don't even know why. Why is this even like a conversation? How is Haney not a bigger star? He make more money. He gonna sell more tickets. He has more followers on social media. His fights get more views on YouTube. Go check the algorithm. Go check the numbers. Devin Haney's fights get more hits than Shakur Stevenson's fights does. If I do a video on Devin Haney and I do a video on Shakur, I'm going to get more views on the Devin Haney video. I got the numbers. If I do a video on Devin Haney, and everybody know I fuck with both of them heavy. If I do a video on Devin Haney and I do a video on Shakur, I'm going to get more views on the Devin Haney video. You telling me, I never said Shakur not a star or Devin Haney not a star. You telling me that you think the Tank Davis fight and Shakur Stevenson fight is more likely to happen because Shakur is a star and Devin Haney not a star. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. You know why, Steven? You said I'm saying a lot and you can't respond in the comment. It's because your point on this, you really don't have no point, but your entire logic on this topic is flawed. Because you could have simply just given me just a simple reason on why Shakur is a star and Devin Haney not, and why he's more likely to get the fight when they both sign a top rank. But Devin Haney doing better numbers. He's fought in bigger fights. He's made more money. He got more followers on social media. He get more hits on YouTube. But somehow Shakur is more likely to get the fight because he's a star and Devin Haney's not. That's why you can't respond in the comment, because your logic is flawed. That's why. You part of the problem. You said Shakur is more of a star because he benefited from better promotion. How? That don't even make sense. Shout out to my brother, No Excuses, It's Levels Boxing in the building. What's good? And he said, man, Haney is definitely a bigger star than Shakur. And like he said, Shakur his favorite fighter. Shout out to my brother D. That's facts. We talk every day about boxing, bro. Shakur Stevenson, his favorite fighter, bro. So if he had any incentive to try to prop up Shakur over Devin, he would do it. But bruh just speaking facts. He said, boys fanned out, man. Hey, you know how it is, dog. Shout out to the brother John Doe in the building. What's good? He said, He said, nah, that nigga just find Shakur cute. Hey, bro, hey, y'all wildin', dog. Yeah, y'all wildin', bro. You know what I'm saying? Said, shout out to Nick, the boxing fanatic. What's good? Said Haney got 2 more fights with top rank, right? Cambosis, then Loma, then possibly move to 140. That's the skeleton of the contract, just from what we know. I don't think any of us actually seen the contract, but from what we've all heard is that there was a 3-fight deal. The first 2, of course, is supposed to be Cambosis, then the rematch. I have a theory myself where I don't actually believe that the rematch is gonna happen because it's not financially lucrative enough. That's just me going off of common sense and logic. Now I know they signed a contract, but I know there are like things, loopholes that could alter that. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like this. Now the rematch very well may happen. I'm just giving you my theory, right? So you pay Cambosis 10 million in the initial fight. You know what I'm saying? Big fight in Australia. They don't have events like this often, so you can justify bringing a boxing match to Australia with a hot young star in Devin Haney, who is renowned in his country within the boxing realm. 23 years old, undefeated. People know his name. Then you take Cambosis, who is a native of Australia, and he just came off the biggest win in his career, became a unified champion, and he's undefeated. We gonna bring him to Australia and put on a big event. He gonna whoop Devin Haney ass, and it's gonna be a huge celebration, right? And then you got Cambosis. He's a salesman, a showman. He's a talker. He talking all this fly shit, the art of deception, all this wild shit, right? Every time you put him in front of a camera, he wearing all these exotic ass clothes, these big ass platform shoes and shit, making him 7 inches tall and shit like that. He doing all this fly shit. You put him in front of the camera every time you get some shit. You feel me? So you put this spectacle on, you build it up, you promote it right. I thought that fight was promoted decently. It did international press conferences and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you present that to those Australian people and they eat it up. They buy it the first time. Because in their mind, I know most of those folks out there are casuals. So they probably thinking like, hey man, this dude, Devin Haney, he don't have a shot. Look, he don't even knock people out. He don't have a shot. He can't beat the ferocious Cambosis, the guard. He can't beat the Spartan, the Australian Spartan. He don't stand a chance. We finna go out here, get drunk, and watch Cambosis beat the shit out of this kid. You know what I'm saying? They sold that shit to them, and they ate it up. Now, mind you, this wasn't a pay-per-view fight. This is on regular ESPN. Now, they get some bread off of that too, but all the money that they made was on the gate. So if Devin Haney go out there, he win all but, I thought he won every round. But if you wanted to give Cambosis a round or 2, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. I think Devin Haney won every round. But if you want to say 11-1, 10-2, I'm cool with that. But this man went out there, literally embarrassed George Cambosis. Made him look like a novice. Made him look like a complete amateur. You know what I'm saying? My question now, and this is my theory. How do you resell that to them same people? Now I can see if they brought the fight to America, and then, now Devin Haney is the A side. You know what I'm saying? Then you maybe. But even we don't even want to see that shit again. So if the people who was rooting for the guy that won don't even want to see this shit again, how can you resell that to the Australian people? That brings up the next question. How do you make that money back? Are we going to pay George Cambosis another $10 million? I don't even know the particulars of the rematch. Is he supposed to get another $10 million bag? Are they still expected to pay Devin Haney his $2.8 million? How do you make your money back? I think that you're going to take a huge loss. Is Bob Arum willing to take that kind of loss? That's my theory. That's why I don't think the rematch is gonna happen. It's just simply not financially lucrative. I think it'll actually like they gonna take a big ass loss if they do that rematch. Nobody want to see that fight. Shout out to the brother Eclectic Agitator back in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said Shakur is being promoted. He being promoted horrible. The only time I hear about Shakur is when he fights. His team is trash. If we telling the truth, top rank and company, and I do mean Jay Prince, Ward, Bradley, Bud do not have a good track record. Hey man, I will say this: you ain't telling no lies, bro. You ain't telling no lies. And I fuck with Jay Prince. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay Prince. I love that he got his hands in with Shakur Stevenson. I like what he do from the business side, but as far as how promote, we know Top Rank don't really promote black fighters like that. Come on now. All of a sudden we saying we got people saying Shakur Stevenson is being promoted amazingly, but we just this guy is a huge Terrence Crawford fan, as am myself. But come on, bro, you being a Terrence Crawford fan, you should know that they don't promote black fighters well over there. So how all of a sudden Shakur, he's been promoted amazingly and he's a star, but Devin Haney not a star? That don't even make sense. Come on, bruh. Said, but I'll concede because I want to respond to all them points, but you made a number of them. I feel you, bruh. I feel what you saying, bruh. Shout out to the brother Diavian Bible in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, is it possible to give Steven a link? I want to hear what he got to say for real. Well, this isn't StreamYard, but what we'll do, and I've done the StreamYard on here a couple of times, but the reason why I haven't been doing this is because last time the audio was real fucked up. But next time we do a show with StreamYard, I'm going to bring Steven up. And I'll most likely have my boy, No Excuses, It's Levels Boxing, my boy D in here. You know what I'm saying? And we can chop it up. But he said, I'm not a Terrence Crawford fan. Now you're not a Terrence Crawford fan, bro? Why you? Come on, bro. Keep it 100. What's wrong with being a Terrence Crawford fan, bro? You ain't got to lie. We know who you are. But, yeah, hey, I got you, Steven. I got you, Steven. Stand by. Stand by. We gonna do another StreamYard soon, and I'm gonna make sure I got a link for you, bro. I gotta make sure the audio right because I don't want that shit to be, you know what I'm saying? Last StreamYard show I did, what was that, a couple of weeks ago, the audio, it just wasn't good. So we gonna get that right though. You know what I'm saying? But said I'm a boxing fan. I just picked Crawford to beat Spence. Okay, I thought you was a I know what you're doing, but I thought you was an avid Terrence Crawford fan, like a diehard. I thought you actually said those words before, but it's cool though. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that stance too. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that stance. You know what I'm saying? Cool with that. Said, what star has Jay Prince, Ward, Bud, Bradley, or Top Rank made from scratch that's black? I can't say none. From scratch? None, you know. You know, they had Muhammad Ali, but I'm not gonna give Top Rank that credit. That's Muhammad Ali, made himself a star. Nah, I ain't gonna give him Ali because that's Ali. Ali made himself a star. Floyd Mayweather, they had Floyd, but I ain't gonna give him that. Floyd made himself a star. They ain't brought. I want to see them bring a dude. I want to see them bring a dude that don't really talk a lot. Bring somebody who don't got their own personality, like Terrence Crawford, like Shakur. Shakur talks shit, but he don't be like all in the camera and going crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see them bring somebody who don't talk a lot. Bring them up and make them a star. Like Terrence Crawford or Shakur Stevenson. Even Devin Haney, you know, Devin Haney, he natural with the shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Devin Haney, he a star. And I'm gonna tell you something that Devin Haney do that's underrated, that a lot of motherfuckers don't do. Devin Haney fuck with the people. Devin Haney fuck with the people. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney, Bill Haney, they'll pull up on your platform, chop it up with you. You know, they'll do interviews. You know what I'm saying? They'll go to, go touch the people. You feel what I'm saying? You know, they'll hit you up on FaceTime, chop it up with you. That's something that's underrated that a lot of them don't do. But Devin Haney just natural with that shit. He don't even talk a whole lot of trash, like, unless somebody provoke him, but he gonna make sure his face is seen. Shout out to the brother D Luckett in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, "Salute, King. Just getting our work with it. Had to stop by, man. I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate you for pulling up, man. Always a treat to have you, dog." Said, "I will say Devin Haney was blessed by Floyd, made by Bill Haney." Yeah, that's another thing. Just coming up in that camp, training with Floyd Mayweather Sr., Floyd Mayweather, he even trained with Roger. You know what I'm saying? Trained with Roy Jones before. Like, Devin has just been blessed to rub shoulders with a lot of greatness, and then be able to capitalize off of that. And then he got a father that's really like father, manager, promoter, that's really like pushing the issue on him. You know what I'm saying? I think Bill Haney does more for Devin Haney than Bob Arum could ever do. You feel me? So he already a star in my opinion. But I'm just saying though, like, they not Top Rank ain't really just bringing up no black fighters and making them stars. That's why I don't be understand. I get why a fighter would sign over there if you just trying to get your feet wet. You gonna get a consistent check. They gonna have great matchmaking, put you in fights they know you can win. Everything gonna be smooth on that standpoint, but you gonna eventually outgrow that situation. It always happens. You gonna eventually outgrow that situation. You know what I'm saying? But that's all. Look, I just wanted to ask a question, man. I think one of the brothers, David, say I'm right. He said Tank Davis is not a free agent. I think the brother Eclectic Agitator alluded to that as well. I'm a ride with what y'all say, man. So now that I know, because I haven't had anybody tell me anything different outside of before we started this live, that's why I brought this question up. But when I saw that interview from Coach Calvin Ford today, over an hour long, the way he was talking, he was basically like saying, hey, he not no free agent, because they still using the same talking points from Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather, and he's moving the same way. So I got to take it for what it is until I see anything different. Said, yep, Top Rank is good for fast tracking fighters so that they can get a quick title. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. No excuses. That's exactly what. See, that's why I can see like a Keyshawn Davis with him signing the Top Rank. That's not a bad move, because you just getting 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. You just getting your feet wet. You just starting your career out. I don't blame you going that route so you can get into title contention on the competition side. Okay, they see you got fights. They see you in the rankings and shit like that. Bob and them gonna finesse, get you high up in them WBO rankings. Now Bob Arum them they in cahoots with the WBC now, so they can get you high in the WBC ranking and shit, depending on what weight class you in. You know what I'm saying? So if they got the bulk of the fighters in a certain weight class, they gonna make sure your shit seen about. So it's a good move if you trying to just like for the early part of your career, but at some point, your ceiling to grow at Top Rank as a black fighter is very low. So at some point, you're going to have to get up out of it, because they don't prioritize like black American fighters. They prioritize guys like Beterbiev and shit, Lomachenko, Eastern European motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Mexican fighters and shit like that. That's what they prioritize, and that's just the facts. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what they do. And these guys that sign with them, they know what the fuck they getting into. So I'm not blaming Top Rank. They do what they've been doing for goddamn 100 years. So I'm not blaming them. If these fighters sign over there, then they know what they getting themselves into. Shout out to the brother Big Tex 33 in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, "What's good, bro? Happy 4th. Be safe out here, man. You too, dog. You too, man. Be safe. Y'all popping them firecrackers, man, shooting them guns and shit, man. Y'all be safe out here. You know, people be acting crazy on the floor. I said, man, Garrett Russell versus Tevin Farmer. Loser has loser has to retire. I like that, dog. I like that. Might as well. Might as well. Garrett Russell done missed out on big fights. Tevin Farmer done missed out on big fights. Might as well go ahead and get in there. Whoever lose, man, you gotta hang it the fuck up. You gotta hang it up. Said it depends on what the contract say. I would not allow my son to sign with Top Rank at any point. Man, hey, I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad. You know, if they saying, okay, we gonna do 10 fights, and I'm talking about you early in your career, you just started. You 0-0. You ain't even had a pro fight yet. Okay, so we gonna do 10 fights. You gonna get a nice guaranteed purse each of those fights, and you know you fighting bums. Like, and I don't even like to call guys bums. Let's just say D-level fighters. So you fighting F and D-level fighters your first 10 fights. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna make sure you getting paid nice. You know, you gonna get, free room and board when you travel. Your trips paid for. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You gonna be able to get you a nice little crib and shit. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get you, as you fighting these fights, you gonna continue to climb up in the ranking. So let's say you fight at 130. We got the most of the 130 fighters. We gonna make sure you gonna get high in the ranking on the WBO or the WBC. Like, depending on what that contract say, then it can make sense. But I wouldn't sign no long-term deal, you know what I'm saying? Like no career, lifetime type deal with them boys at all. Said where to be more guys at. What's good with Truck Simpson? Yeah, in that video that I was watching with Coach Calvin Ford, they talked about Truck Simpson. I know he had a situation where he was supposed to fight on Triller, but I think he missed weight or something to that effect, where he wasn't able to get that fight, which was like a huge disappointment. But he's been in the gym, he's been working, so I'm excited to see Truck Simpson, man. I think that kid is gonna be good. I like his fighting style. He's a boxer puncher. He's smooth with it too. I like Truck Simpson a lot. I think he's gonna be real good. So hopefully he'll be able to start getting more active, so we can really see what he got, man. Cause I want to see what he do at 154. You know what I'm saying? Said I heard a video that said Bud is trying to involve MTK Global, and that's what's holding up the fight. That's the word on the streets. Yeah, with the Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence like negotiations, I'll be honest, I'm not even really gonna speculate at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what's going on. I don't have no sources on the details on the contracts or what's holding it up. So I'm not even gonna speculate on that. But I'll just tell you what I believe. I believe that we will have a fight date announced soon. I truly believe that. I think when we least expect it, it's gonna be a fight date announced. You're gonna see Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. They gonna post they shit on Instagram. Everybody gonna be making videos. It's gonna be when we least expect it. But I definitely do think that fight is right there. You know what I'm saying? I think that fight is right there. Said the hold up from what I hear is PBC wants to do a multi-fight deal while Bud just wants a one-off. He also want more bread. I can see that. I just hope they get it straightened out, man. That's the fight that everybody want to see. And I think it's one of those situations where the powers that be and the fighters themselves, I wouldn't encourage a fighter to take like less than what they were for, like, let somebody fuck you over or something like that. I would never encourage Spence or Crawford to do no shit like that. But I will say this, I think it gotta be collective. I think the powers that be got to understand the magnitude of this fight, the importance of this fight, and Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, they got to understand that shit too. And boys just got to come together, man. Like, hey, we got to give a little bit here and take a little bit there to make this shit happen. I think it's that important. You know what I'm saying? I think it's that important. And I think ultimately that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. They're going to have to find a middle ground because I believe both guys want to fight. Now, it maybe it's true that one guy wanted more than the other. I don't know. But I think both guys genuinely want that fight. And I think they understand the magnitude of this fight. And if they were to allow something minuscule to keep us from getting that fight, I think they would be disappointed in themselves. So we definitely seeing that fight 2 to 3 times. Even though I don't think that's gonna be the case, I wouldn't be mad at all if that happened. I wouldn't be mad if they fought 3 times in a row and those were the last fights of both of them. You know what I'm saying? That's the last time we seen Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. If they both fought 3 times in a row. If that was the case, I wouldn't be mad at all. Said, unless Spence break his eye bone, I got Spence in a stoppage. Say, I don't care why it's not happening. I just want to see it by any means necessary. Yeah, bro. That's my sentiments, dog. Like, that's my sentiments, bro. I think it's gonna happen. You know, like I said, I think it'll be one of those situations where it just boom, out of nowhere. Both of them then posted the shit on Instagram, or they done went on Twitter and confirmed it, and then everybody gonna be, you know, okay, yeah, now we talking, you know. So we gonna see, man, but that's gonna be one for the ages. That's gonna be one for the ages. My boy Heartless, hey man, say, you know, we start talking about Terrence Crawford, man. Heartless gonna pop up in here. He said, Bud, a unicorn. Oh man, he said Terrence Crawford a unicorn with the fairy dust. You know what I'm saying? Said we sleeping on Bud. Hey man, he gonna get a chance to prove it in that fight. He gonna get a chance to prove it in that fight, dog. This is gonna be one of those situations where we finally get to see. Said if the undercard is good, oh yeah. See, look, now that's the key. That could be another thing too. Like trying to put together an undercard. That could be something too. Because if they did the undercard, if the undercard is like righteous for real, you know what I'm saying? Like if the undercard is, I mean, you gotta have another star. You gotta have another star. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a Jerron Boost Ennis versus Keith Thurman. Like that fight deserves a Jerron Boost Ennis versus Keith Thurman undercard. You feel what I'm saying? That fight deserves a Jamel Charlo and Tim Tszyu with co-main with Jerron Ennis versus Keith Thurman. It deserves an undercard like that. If that was the case, I think a lot more people would be inclined to buy it. But at the same time, that's a huge risk, though. Said, let's get Frank Martin on there so he can beat up Gamboa. I would love that, too. But you know what? That's a huge risk. Because what if they do go all out and they pay for this lavish undercard, but people, 70% of the people that tune into the fight end up streaming it illegally. That it's a huge risk. So I could understand why they wouldn't put together some crazy undercard. Because what if you secure Spence and Crawford, bet, that's the most important thing. But then you also get Boost and Thurman. Then you get a Charlo brother, or you get somebody else that, you know what I'm saying, that makes sense. But then 75% of the people that actually lay eyes on the fight viewed it illegally by stream. That would be a huge blow. That'd be a huge blow. Because though I believe the gate would be phenomenal, you still want to make that back end money on a pay-per-view. Say y'all think it could break Maypack records? Nah, absolutely not. If we were in the perfect world where streaming didn't exist, it still wouldn't be up there. It'll be close, but it still wouldn't be up there. Even if we was in a perfect world with no streaming, it still wouldn't be close to the Pac and Mayweather numbers. Said, don't get me wrong. If he gonna stand there in the middle of the ring, he gonna get. He said, okay, at least Heartless coming with some type of like sense. You feel me? He said, don't get me wrong. If he gonna stand there in the middle of the ring, he gonna get his ass beat. But he just trolling. Okay. Shout out to my brother Jay Harris Too Real. Back in that super chat coming through and showing major love, man. I really appreciate it, bro. He said, the more I watch Bud, the more I can see him winning. I still lean towards EJ, but Bud is a sharpshooter. He's an elite finisher. I just see EJ breaking him, though he won't be deterred when he gets hit by Bud like others have. That's a great assessment, dog. That's a great assessment. And that's, I've always seen that in Terrence Crawford, which is why I feel that my observation and breakdown and analysis on that fight is so accurate, because I'm not one of these people that's, even though I am rooting for Errol Spence in that fight, even though I believe Errol Spence gonna win, I'm not one of these people that's just discounting Terrence Crawford, or just saying, well, Earl gonna win just because, or Earl gonna win because he's bigger, or he's stronger, or he hit harder, or because he from Dallas and shit like that. I know what Terrence Crawford brings to the table. I'm fully aware. And that's why I think it's a 50-50 fight. And even with that being said, I still got Errol Spence winning. You know what I'm saying? But you right, everything you said is 100% correct, bro. Terrence Crawford got every chance to, bro, this shit gonna be crazy. It's things that Terrence Crawford does that make me nervous. As an Errol Spence fan, going into that fight, hoping that Errol Spence wins, it's a lot of things that Terrence Crawford brings to the table that concerns me. A lot of shit that he do, it concerns me. And it's not even big shit. It's small stuff. It's small stuff that a lot of people probably don't even pay attention to. It's small stuff. So we gonna see. He said Bo Mac can't throw in the towel. Bro. He said Bo Mac can't throw in the towel if he got barbecue wings in his hand. Oh shit. Yo, bro, you a wild boy. Hey, shout out to the brother Dave's Kate all day in the building, man. He said Bo Mac can't throw in the towel if he got barbecue wings in his hands. Said Spence better not look for his mouthpiece. Other than that, he got it. Hey, for real. He need to get that I don't know if y'all play football where you put your mouthpiece in some hot water. They probably do that shit in boxing too. You know what I'm saying? But you put your mouthpiece in some hot water and you boil that shit, and then you mold it in your mouth so that shit can fit perfectly. That's what Earl need to do. Cause he said he don't even have, this whole time he just been using mouthpieces that them hoes not molded to fit his mouth, which is crazy. Like, bro, come on, bro, why you not doing that? But he said that he gonna do that from here on out. That's what he said, but we'll see. He need to do that shit, bro, because you can't be having your mouthpiece just flying out. You need that bitch to, like, fit your teeth perfectly so you good. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, we did that in boxing. I would think they did that for real. Yeah. That's what I'm like, why they don't do that? you know what I'm saying? Like, why they don't do that? You definitely got to do that, bruh. You want that? You want your shit to be like when you bite down that bitch, it's like it's a part of your teeth now. You want that shit to be in perfectly, so you good. Said now we get our mouthpieces fitted by professionals, dentists, mouth guard, mouthpiece guy does a lot of ours. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, bruh. Like, I'm like, bruh, how you ain't? Why Earl Spence ain't been doing that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bruh. You got to do that. You got to do that. Small shit like that, you got to do that. You know. I mean, at least do it the ghetto way. Put your shit in some hot water, and then, you know what I'm saying? Put your shit in some hot water. Let it sit there for about 2 minutes, and then you can mold your teeth in that bitch, and you good. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Anthony Jones. Say pretty dope live, man. I appreciate it, dog. You know how we get, man. We get in here just chop it up on this boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Said Bomac bleed $1,000 dressing. Hey, you wild, dog. You wild. Say I don't think Bud will have an answer for EJ's jab. EJ's jab is perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff that I'll be looking for in that fight. A whole lot of stuff. It's gonna be a lot of stuff, bro. Like I'm gonna be watching that shit so close, bro. It's a lot of things I'll be looking for. But going back to what y'all was saying though, in regard to the undercard and shit, I hope it does have a decent undercard, but I think it's a huge risk for them putting a star-studded undercard together because they gonna have to heavily rely on the gate. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe a lot of people will respect this fight how they should. And I mean like actually pay for it. Because this fight will bring in a lot of casual fans. Now, one might even argue that casual fans pay more than the hardcore boxing fans, right? I think it's really the hardcore boxing fans that we got to worry about. Them the ones that ain't gonna be paying for the shit because they the ones that's been so used to using illegal streams. Uh, hardcore boxing fans, them the ones that be pulling up streams and shit. They know where all the shit at. You feel me? And a lot of them be haters anyway. They don't like this fighter, that fighter, or a particular type of fighter or a certain fighter that look a certain type of way. So they gonna gladly illegally stream that bitch. But when it's guys like us, we gon' want to pay for it because number one, it's a fight, it's the biggest fight out there, the best fight out there, and it's a fight that we genuinely want to see and we want to support these guys. So, it's a huge risk. It's a huge risk. I think all these things that we talking about, these are like points of discussion when they, figuring out what this fight gonna look like on paper, as far as like the deal, the contract, and all that. I think all of these things are getting brought up behind closed doors, and that's why I'm not even tripping. I would hope that we had an announcement already, but I'm not tripping because I understand the magnitude of this fight. I know this ain't something that you just gonna put together and say, oh, okay, we got a date, it's done, it's good. Nah, it's gonna be a lot of moving parts that gotta come together for them to make this shit happen. So I just hope we get an announcement soon, but I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. But look, man, I'm finna get on up out of here, man. I want to say thank you to everybody that pulled up and showed love, man. Everybody in the super chat supporting the channel, bro. Greatly appreciate that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the regular chat, everybody that chopped it up today, man, that had an opinion, brought some type of, information to the chat, you know what I'm saying, and joined in on the discussion, bro. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. I definitely appreciate that, man. Y'all enjoy y'all 4th of July. You know, eat you some barbecue. You know what I'm saying? I just we celebrated Juneteenth again this weekend. You feel me? So, but if y'all celebrating the 4th, man, do y'all thing? Eat you some barbecue, man. You know, sip on some, smoke on some. You know, whatever you got going on, but enjoy yourself and be safe. I holla at y'all this week, man. Contender regime boxing, y'all.